Okay, so good morning, all, and welcome back to the session. This is Generative AI Masterclass, GenAI Masterclass, and this is the session one. And what we are going to discuss in our today's session, we will be going to see like what are the different things that we are going to cover in this particular learning journey. Yeah? Before moving further, I just want to discuss about I think Lakshmi, Vikas, and Nikhil. These are the previous best students or learners, and Anurag and Daksh. These are the new one. Okay, not an issue. Friends, what is being happening inside this particular world, like generative AI or Gen AI, which is the booming tech stack in the market. In order to learn it, we just need to understand and we just need to get the insight. What are the different things? What has happened so far, and what will be the the contents, or what are the different things that we are going to cover in this particular uh, program, and what are the different benefits that we can get from this particular program. So we are going to discuss on all of those particular things. This is the session one, and what I'm expecting at this moment, like inputs from you as well. If you are having certain things that are there in your mind in order to to discuss with me for this particular session, like what are the different things or the content perspective that you want from my side to be included. Okay, I'm having the complete content list that I will share with you all, and we'll discuss about that particular content. Uh, the students, like the learners from the previous batch, they are having the information about the content what we have prepared and how we are going to cover that particular stuff. So, uh, what I have mentioned, it will be the interactive session. I will discuss generally, okay, about the stuff that we are going to cover and what exactly this generative AI is. Those particular things will be discussed. Let me share the content list and then we'll discuss. Uh, okay, over here, what I mentioned, this is say the 12-week program. Although, like say if we are going to devote 100% and we are going to cover each and every topic in a week, then it is going to take 12 weeks. But it is my normal experience, like we will be going to take 1 or 2 months more in order to complete this particular content, keeping the the sessions that, like, some sessions will be repeated or some of the things uh, will be covered multiple times. There are certain topics which are typical to understand, say the transformer architecture, which is the base for this particular generative AI. It will take some time in order to digest for you guys. So that particular topic over here, like I have mentioned it for 3 to 4 weeks, but it may take 1 or 2 week more. Okay, based upon the understanding that you are getting from that particular topic. So this is in total, say, 12-week program if we are moving holistically, and we will be able to cover each and everything. So before moving further with this particular content, let me try to show, say, generative AI. Yeah. Okay. So, can anybody tell me, like, what is the meaning of generative AI? Okay, what do you understand with Gen AI? Nikhil, Daksh, Vikas,
Sir,
Anurag.
actually, generative AI using the large language model. Like in previous artificial intelligence, there is an option for like it can understand and do the like analysis based on specific rules only. So generative AI use deep learning and to understand, generate, and process human languages. Basically it's trained on like a vast amount of text data. It can perform the various activities like translation, text completion, question answering, summarization, and
Mhm.
with the help of generative AI we can like prepare the particular models which LLM is not supporting, like RAG, agentic system. So in like generative AI is useful for like email writing, blog creation, and lot of activities which traditional AI cannot do.
Okay, okay, that is a good one. Uh, Lakshmi, can you try what is GenAI?
GenAI is a type of AI, artificial intelligence that create new original content, including text, images, code, video, audio, and it trained on huge amount of text data. It uses a deep learning model like transformer. Yeah.
Okay, Vikas, Vikas, can you try what is GenAI?
Uh, yeah, so basically, what we can say, it's a, it's basically we can say it's a design to create the like whatever content, like we can say, we can write the codes, images, uh, like from the different data, like we can give our input and we can fetch the information, like we can say we can give our datas and all, like
Okay, Anurag, do you know what is generative AI? Your thought process with respect to generative AI? You try and don't hesitate like the answer. Say it will be wrong or right. Nothing is wrong and right over here. Just I'm just asking the thought process. Like, what do you understand with generative AI? That
that build application that can perform its own task without human intervention.
okay, Daksha. So
Hello, can you hear me, Ashok?
yes, yes, I can hear.
Yeah, sorry. Actually, so actually, as per my understanding, actually, I don't know about much about generative AI, but
Mhm.
I can say AI is just nothing but artificial intelligence, using the data as an input, so we can create the some like output for our like daily use in every field, like we can say.
Okay, okay. So artificial intelligence. Okay. And Daksh, can you try once more? You said something, but I was not able to get it properly.
uh, that build the application that can perform its own task without any human interventions,
Okay,
like Netflix recommendation systems.
okay. So task performed without human intervention. Huh?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So more or less, what you all have mentioned, that is with respect to the artificial intelligence and some flavor of generative AI. Okay. So that is perfectly fine. You at least you know about something about the generative AI and artificial intelligence. Huh? So let me start to provide you the insight like what exactly the generative AI is. Friends, basically, what we have here so far, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. Okay. So artificial intelligence, this is nothing but a business terminology, business term. And uh, once the particular machine is mimicking like human, so what we can say, that is the artificial intelligence machine. But this is the business term, and over here it is a broader category, what I can say. And in this broader category, we are having different technologies. Okay, say machine learning, deep learning, NLP. Okay, so all of these particular things are there. Say machine learning, deep learning, and NLP, natural language processing, and then Gen AI. Yeah. Okay, what I can say, Gen AI. Okay, so before this, if guys, please go on mute. If you are not speaking, please go on mute. Okay. So what we are able to see, we are trying to understand the generative AI at this moment. And what I have mentioned, artificial intelligence is a broader category, and it is containing machine learning. Let me mention it: machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, and generative AI. At the end, what we are able to see, generative AI. Yeah? Okay, generative artificial intelligence. So this is fine, but why generative AI is creating a boom, creating a hype at this moment? We have gone through with this particular artificial era, say machine learning, deep learning, NLP. We have seen all of these particular things in the past, but why this generative AI has created a hype? What has been changed with respect to these particular things? So just try to focus over here. Before generative AI or Gen AI, it means we are generating something. Generative, it means we are generating something. Generative, new data. It might be image, it might be text content, it might be audio, video, whatever. Okay, over here inside the generative AI, we are able to generate the new content which was not possible over here. Okay, in this particular category, ML, and NLP, the new content generation was not there. Okay, but it is possible because of the generative AI. Once we came in the era of the generative AI, we are able to generate the new content. So we just mention the context, and based upon the context, the models behind this particular generative AI are able to understand what we are willing to have, and then it is able to provide the information with respect to that. What was happening before generative AI? Say if we are having certain data, and based upon the data, we are going to apply certain mathematical calculations. We prepare a mathematical equation, and based upon that particular equation, we are able to predict unknown, you can say, data. We are predicting unknown data based upon the known data. You can take it in this particular way. Say I'm having the employee data, and I'm having the information, the name, age, experience, okay, and salary. Okay, so this information I'm having. So I'm having the data of, say, 1000 employees. 1000 employees, information was their name, age, experience, and salary. Now if I'm having two new employee, and if I want that, based upon this particular data of 1000 employee, just try to predict what is the salary of these two new employees, and what we have given name as is experience. This particular data is given for these two employees. So based upon this particular data, this data, basically the data of 1000 employees, I just need to predict what can be the salary of these two new employees. Okay, so over here, what I'm trying to do, based upon the features, over here, these particular things are called features. If we have seen the machine learning stuff, then probably you might have the information that the input to the machine learning model is called feature, and the output is called label. So we are having the information about features, name, age, and experience. Although the name is not creating any sense, based upon the name, do we need to predict salary? So that is not a, you can say, good variable, good feature to consider in order to make the prediction of the salary for this particular employee data. So there are different things what we can do, like we used to perform the hypothesis testing and all. Is there any relation of this particular name with respect to this particular salary? So then we will be able to say that name is not having any dependency on to salary, so we can exclude name from that particular data. We are not moving in that particular direction. So what I'm trying to say over here is that inside the machine learning era or deep learning or NLP era, what we were having certain data. Data is, say, the combination of features and labels. Label is the output, and features are the input. So based upon this particular given data, we are trying to create a mathematical model. Mathematical model is nothing but the machine learning model. Say we are having different machine learning models. Random forest is there, decision tree is there. Okay, spot vector machine is there, SVM. So different machine learning algorithms are there. So what those machine learning algorithms are doing, they are trying to build a relation between these features and labels. Now once we are having a relation, an equation between these features and labels, then if we are having the features, then we will be able to predict the label. Are you with me? Do you agree, all of you?
Yes.
Guys,
Yes.
is it clear with everyone? If we are having one equation that is having relation between features and labels, features, that is nothing but input, okay, and labels are nothing but the output. Okay, so if we are having an equation that is denoting the relation between features, input, and label, so if we are having the information about features, then based upon this particular equation, we will be able to predict the label. Right? Do you agree, all of you? Daksh, Nikhil,
Yes.
Vikas,
Yes.
Raj,
Yes.
Raj.
Yes, agree.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, guys, if you are not able to understand at any point of time, you can ask. This is the basic one, and we are going through with the basics. We are going to understand like why we need to have generative AI. So, based upon certain known data, known relations, we are trying to predict unknown relation. It means we are not generating content. We are just fitting unknown features with the known equation, and we are predicting the label, we are predicting the output. We are not generating new content, we are just predicting based upon an equation. Is it fine so far, all of you?
Yes.
Guys, please be interactive, be responsive.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is nothing but DL, MNL, NLP era. Okay, what is being happening inside the deep learning? The same fashion, like we are having certain non-information, and based upon that particular non-data, and we are trying to predict the unknown data, unknown variables. So that was perfectly fine, but in 2017, one paper was published, and paper name was attention all you need. Let me try to check that particular paper. Attention all you need. Attention is all you need. So this was the paper which was published, and these are the Google scholars who has published this particular paper. And because of this particular paper only, whatever we are uh, discussing, the generative AI is possible. Because of attention is all you need. This is the paper which was published inside the 2017. So based upon that particular paper only, whatever we are discussing, say generative AI is possible. Now, inside that particular paper, what they have given the transformer architecture. Transformer architecture was given inside this particular research paper, which was published in 2017. And what has happened with the help of this particular paper, we are able to, it has given us a way to generate the new content. So inside the ML, DL, machine learning, deep learning, and natural language processing, the new content generation was not possible. We were able to predict based upon certain given data, and we are able to predict the unknown data. So I have quoted the example of the employee data, where we are trying to predict the salary of say two new employees who has joined based upon their age, name, and experience. So we will be able to predict. How we will be able to predict? Because we have created an equation which is denoting the relationship between name, age, experience with salary. So if we are having an equation that is denoting the relationship, so based upon that particular relationship or equation, we can just put it over here, and we will be able to get the outcome. So that is what is happening inside the era before generative AI. We were not able to generate the new content, but we were able to predict based upon the given data, based upon the known information. We are able to predict unknown data. You can take it in this particular way. Say if say 10 people have taken a particular path in order to say move Delhi to Chandigarh, and based upon this particular their experience, we can say the 11% will be able to move, because they are having the path, they are having their experiences. Okay. So the new person will be able to commute from Delhi to Chandigarh based upon their experience. the experience is nothing but the equation or the machine learning model. Huh? So same uh, thing was happening inside this ML, DL, and NLP, but we were not able to generate the new content. Huh? If I open, say, Chat GPT and ask something, can you tell me the information about generative AI? Okay. So I have given this particular question and now it is able to provide me the answer. Huh? So generative AI is branch of artificial and intelligence focused on creating new content. Huh? It has highlighted this particular stuff for creating new content, which was not possible before the generative AI. So it is core of machine learning, deep learning, and natural language processing. Okay, after this, each particular things, the generative AI is coming into the picture, and then different things are given. Say what is the training phase, what is the generation phase. We will be discussing these particular things in our upcoming session, but at this moment what we are trying to do, we are trying to understand what exactly the generative AI is. Okay, so generative AI is focused on to generating the new content. Now we have just given the question, and based upon this particular question we are able to generate this particular content. And before generative AI, friends, this was not possible. So how we are able to generate this particular content, what is the mechanism behind generating this particular content? In this particular GenAI Masterclass, we will be going to discuss all of these particular things, how we can utilize this generative AI in our uh, work that we are going to discuss in this particular master class. What are the different things that we can do in order to have the optimization on top of the solutions what we are developing? So we are going to discuss over here in this particular generative AI master class. So this is nothing but the generative AI, which is focused generating the new content. Generative AI is a branch of AI where it is focused to generate new content which was not possible before GenAI era. Okay. So we are able to understand the generative AI. Like generative AI is nothing but it is focused on two generation of the new content, which was not possible earlier. Now, how this particular generation of new content is possible? First one is based upon the transformer architecture. So this was the research paper which was published in 2017, and based upon this particular research paper, we got the transformer architecture. And once we are having transformer architecture, then we start thinking in that direction that yeah, new content can be generated. It is quite possible to have the generation of new content. So in order to generate the new content, we will be trying to decode the algorithm which was created in order to generate the new content. Okay, we will try to mimic that particular algorithm with our Jupyter notebook. Okay, so we will be going to take certain data and we will be trying to predict the next character. That particular algorithm we will be trying to decode, and how it is possible. Then once you will be having the information about that particular algorithm, yes, then you will be having the enough understanding that how the things are happening inside the GenAI world. And then we will be trying to utilize the models. Those are nothing but the large language models. Okay, so we will be trying to utilize those large language models in order to perform our task. Now, one main thing that I want to show. So the word came LLM, large language model. Okay, so large language model. Now, what I have mentioned, generative AI, that is nothing but generation content. It is possible because of the transformer architecture. And transformer architecture, based upon the transformer architecture, what we are trying to do, we are trying to build the large language models that we mentioned based upon uh, transformer architecture. LLMs are built, and LLMs are built. LLMs, large language models. So, what we can see, 2017, the attention is all you need. The research paper has given the architecture, transformer architecture, and based upon these particular architectures, uh, we are building or creating the large language models. These particular large language models are utilized in order to generate the new content. LLMs are utilized to generate new content. Okay. So in this particular course, GenAI Masterclass, what we will see how to create the LLMs, that we will see what I have explained, the algorithm to generate new content that we will be learning in this particular course, like how the large language model is able to generate the new content. So we will be going to learning the algorithm behind it. We will be trying to do it mathematically, and we will be trying to decode the complete algorithm. We will be passing one character, and the algorithm will be able to predict the next character. So those particular things will be there in our upcoming session. No need to worry. But what I'm trying to mention at this moment, uh, the different fields. So inside the market, in market, almost say 95% organization, 95% organization, they are going through with applied AI, and 5% organization creating or building large language models. Okay, so probably you have heard about, say, ChatGPT. The example what I have shown: Gemini, DeepSeek, uh, then Claude, and Grok. Okay, so over here we have seen these particular things. I have just opened this particular chat GPT, and over here we are having the different, you can say, models inside the chat GPT. So if I want to say chat GPT Go is there, Plus is there, and Pro is there, and based upon the model that we are going to utilize, it is having certain pricing. So if you are going to use Go, so it will be 319 INR per month. plus GST, inclusive of GST. If we are going to utilize say plus, so we will be having 1999 INR per month. And if we are going to utilize the Pro model, that is costing 10,699 per month. So what is the meaning of that? We will be trying to understand, and what is the business model. So I have quoted over here 95% organizations are using applied AI. 95, but in actually it is around 95 to 97%. 95 to 97% organization, and it is say 2 to 5%. 2 to 5% organization are creating the large language models. Now, 95 to 97% organizations are working onto the applied AI. What is the meaning of that? Means, say the Chat GPT, the OpenAI is the company, OpenAI, who has built this Chat GPT model, or GPT model basically. So this GPT model is developed by OpenAI. OpenAI is nothing but the organization. So this organization, OpenAI, has given the GPT large language models, and most of the organizations in the world are going to utilize these particular models. Say some of the organizations are working on to the GPT, some of the organizations are working on to the Cloud, and some of the organizations are working on to the group, based upon the pricing mechanism, based upon the accuracy with respect to the data, and based upon the latency and all. 95 to 97% organizations are going to utilize these particular models, large language models, to perform their task. So it is not, it is like, say, if you are willing to drink one glass of water, it is not like you are going to dig a well and then you will be having one glass of water. If like well is there, you just need to pull one glass or one bucket from that well, okay, and you will be, you can have it from there. It is not like you are going to have the establishment of the complete organization to build large language models and then work on your data. So 95% organizations are working on to the available large language models, and then try to solve their problems, and that is nothing but applied AI. They are applying existing large language models in order to perform their task. Only 2 to 5% organizations are working in order to create these particular large language models. Correct, guys? Are you able to understand this? Do you have any confusion? Let me take a pause and take your queries if you are having any doubt. All of you, Daksh and Anurag, is it fine with you both?
Yes, okay. Yes, sir. Yeah. It's okay for me.
Perfect. Yes, someone was speaking. What is the query? Okay, so 95 to 97% organizations are working on to the applied AI, and only 2 to 5% organizations are creating their large language model. I have taken the example of 5 organizations uh, who had built these large language models, and in a phase of upgrading these large language models in order to have the better accuracy and all. But this is not limited to these 5 organizations. Let me try to open one site over here, that is Hugging Face. Huggingface.co. So over here inside the huggingface.co, if you are able to see models, okay, these models are nothing but large language models. And at this moment, what we are having, 2.8 million large language models are available, or what I can say, 28 lakhs large language models are available onto this particular Hugging Face website. Say DeepSeek, if you are able to see Moonshot AI, when OpenAI that has built the Chat GPT, the organization that has built the Chat GPT, yeah. DeepSeek, okay, this is the another Chinese organization. When, okay, Unsloth, that is another organization. DeepSeek, okay, and How CS, I think this is Chinese or Taiwan based organization which has built this particular large language model. Inclusion AI, another large language model. Tencent, okay. So a lot of organizations are there who has built their large language models, and these this particular organization, what I can say, or website, which is acting as a repository for all of these large language models. These are freeware, basically. You can download these particular large language models in your machine, and then you can infer. I'm focusing on this particular word, infer. You can infer your data and get the outcome. So just try to understand it. I'm having some input, and then I'm giving it to the large language model, and I'm getting the output. Output. So what exactly is being happening over here? Input is, say, tell me something about GenAI. Yeah? Okay, this is, say, an input. It has been given to the large language model, and I got the output. So what exactly is being happening? I'm taking this particular input, give it to the large language model. Large language model, what it will do? It will do the inference. It will do inference, or it will infer this particular query and provide me the outcome. So over here, what we have seen, when we have given this particular query to the GPT, Chat GPT large language model, then it has done the inference of this particular query, and what we are getting, this particular outcome. Okay, so this is the outcome what we have, what we are having from the large language model. So large language model is providing or performing the inference based upon the query that you are going to ask, and after inference it will provide me the output. So we are inferring our queries in order to get the outcome, and what exactly is being happening internally we will see in our upcoming sessions. And say, if you are having, say, chat gpt, yeah, chat gpt, what I can say, GPT-4. Okay, Chat GPT-4 large language model is utilized in order to do the inference on top of this particular query. So what we are able to see over here, so we are performing the inference, and we are using applied AI stuff. Means, on this particular query, we are using Chat GPT. Did we develop Chat GPT-4 or Chat GPT? No, we haven't developed, but we are just using it through the web or internet. What I can say, we are using it through internet, We are passing our query, and then we are able to get the outcome. Okay, so this is nothing but applied AI. We are trying to resolve our issues. We are trying to uh, uh, build our applications based upon this particular large language model, or we are inferring our queries based upon the pre-built large language model. It is not like we are going to dig and then do the inference and get the output. We are not going to create our large language model. Although what we are doing at this moment, we are just applying this pre-built large language model in order to get the answer of this particular query. This is called applied AI. Okay, 95 to 97% organizations are working in this particular way, and our main focus will be onto this particular piece. Although we will be discussing how to create a large language model, how to build a large language model, and decoding of the algorithm that I have mentioned over here is a step towards creating the large language model. You will see, you will be understanding the basics how the large language models are created. You will be having that particular information as well. Okay, and this particular example will provide you the informations like how mathematically the things are possible, how you can do. Although you will mm, you will not get the chance to build your own large language models. There are few organizations only. Lucky, if you are lucky, then you can get the chance to work with those particular organizations, and then you probably will build the large language models. But 95 to 97% organizations what I have mentioned are working onto the applied AI. They are not creating their own large language models to solve their purpose, to solve their business issues. So they just use uh, the pre-built large language models in order to solve the issues. My organization, which is 160 years old company, and in that organization as well, we are using Claude large language models in order to solve our purpose. Can we create the large language model? Yes, we can create, but the organizations are not willing to invest in order to create the large language model. Creating the large language models will require huge amount of, you can say, investment, and that will uh, include training of the large language model 4 to 6 months, probably based upon the data that you are going to feed, and it will require huge infra as well. Infra, let me mention it over here so you will be having the good understanding. So, how to develop on large language models? Okay, so what we will do, we will collect the data from internet, Wikipedia, and other sources. Then what we will do, we will do the pre-training, and then we will go get the foundation model. Then we will do fine tuning, and we will get fine-tuned model. Fine-tuned LLM, what I can say. So this is a way how the large language models are created or built up. Now we are collecting the huge amount of data, and that particular data will be in terms of terabytes. Say whatever is available onto the internet, we are going to take that particular data, and that particular data, say that is huge amount of data. You can say if we are asking something onto chat gpt, so it is able to provide me the information about that. Say if I try to ask like what is drop call rate, drop call rate, and it will be able to provide the information. Drop call rate is a key metric, telecom metric that measure how often ongoing calls get disconnected unexpectedly. So it is having the information. So drop call rate formula is given, drop calls divided by established calls into 100. So it has given this particular information, but from where it is able to get this particular information? Probably this information is stored somewhere, or it get that particular information somewhere from the data onto the internet, with Wikipedia or some other sources. So that particular data is available, and then it is able to provide me the answer based on my query by taking the reference of that particular data. So what they have done, probably they have collected this particular data, and this is huge amount of data. If we need to build an algorithm or large language model based upon that huge data, it will require huge amount of resource. Okay, heavy resource will be utilized, heavy resource and time and investment, investment. So if we need to do the pre-training, or if we need to build a foundation model based upon this particular data, we just need to have the heavy resource. Resource means the infra, and see human power, human capability. Okay, so we must have the human capable manpower, and we must have the infra that is able to work on to this particular huge data and do the pre-training, and then we will be able to get the foundation model. So this particular stuff require huge investment. And then, like what I mentioned, if we are going to have a foundation model, foundation large language model, then it will probably take 4 to 6 months, so then we will be getting the foundation model. Now if the organizations need to go through with this particular phase, and this is nothing but digging a pound or digging a well. Okay, so over here, or you can take it in this particular way. If you are hungry, it is not like you are going to establish a restaurant and then eat food over there. It is, say if you are hungry, you can just open Zomato or say Swiggy on your mobile, and then order some food, and then you will be able to have that, okay. So that is the another way. Another example what I can say, so organizations are not going to establish or start their restaurant. They are just willing to utilize Zomato or Swiggy kind of mechanism, and that is nothing but applied AI. They are using the establishment which is there inside the market, and uh, they just pay whatever they are going to utilize. So say if they are willing to eat matar paneer, they just order matar paneer and chapati, and they will pay for that. It is not like, say, they the the restaurant is having thousands of dishes what they need to have over there in order to sell their product. Okay, but as per the requirement, what I'm talking about, the applied AI, the organizations are ordering what they are willing to have. Say Claude organizations has developed different large language model. Say HiQ is there, Anthropic is there, Sonnet is there, Opus is there. So different large language models are there based upon the different flavors. Some of the large language models are developed keeping the scientific calculations into consideration. Some of the large language models are developed in order to have the good reasoning and provide the outcome based upon the given, you can say, summary or uh, data. Okay, so based upon the need, what we need to do, we just need to pick that particular large language model and then pay whatever we are going to use. So how to use that is in terms of tokens that we will be discussing in our upcoming sessions. So tokens is the measuring mechanism or a metric based upon that we are going to pay to these particular organizations who have built the large language models. Let me try to show one example. Platform.openai. Let me continue with Google. I'm logging in my account. And usage, API key, usage, probably in usage it will be there. Pricing. Just have a look. We are having different models. Okay, say GPT, all models. Let me mention over here. Say if we are having, just have a look over there, price per 1 million token. So if we are using GPT 5.5, for the input, we just need to pay $5. For cash, it is $0.5. For output, it is say $30. And we are having certain models, other models, where the input is say $0.15 and output is 0.07 0.6. This is, I think, output. Okay, this is output. And output is $0.60. And over here GPT 4.1 nano is there. It is much cheaper than GPT 4 mini. Okay, and GPT 5 nano is also there. This is also list, having the list cost. So based upon the accuracy what this particular model is providing, we can pick, and this is the mechanism like how we need to pay. Probably at this moment you guys are not having the information about tokens and what I am sharing with you all, but this is nothing but a mechanism like how we just need to pay to the organizations who has developed the large language models. And these 2 to 5% percent organizations who have created their large language models, they are providing these large language models as an API or another, you can say, way. And these organizations are utilizing those large language models and they will pay based upon their use. And that is nothing but the applied AI. Now, why organizations are not moving in order to develop their own large language model? Because it requires heavy investment in terms of infra and human capabilities, and it will take more time. So the organizations are not willing to have the investment in these large language models, and this is not their business area. You can think in this particular way. One organization who is working inside the healthcare domain, and they guys are not having the capabilities in order to build the large language model, but they still willing to get the outcome based upon the large language models. So what they are doing, they will pay to the organizations who has built those particular large language models. Probably you have heard one news which has happened in past. Okay, recent example. So US defense was having the contract with the Claude. Okay, and Claude is an organization who has, you can say, developed the Anthropic, you can say, large language model. Okay, Google, Claude, or Anthropic. So Anthropic large language models are deployed in missile guidance mechanism, and the large language model LLM or generative AI need to set the targets. And then it was asked to the Anthropic that what do you feel about setting these particular targets? They are just trying to get what is the response, what can be the response from the large language model if we are asking a particular question to the large language model. So at that moment, uh, what is being happening, let me try to mention over here, say generative AI. Okay, and we are getting the output. This is very interesting. Try to focus over here, and human in loop. Okay, and then take actions. Okay, and generative AI output and take action. So take action. So over here, these are the two flows where say generative AI and generative AI, and Anthropic was the large language model. Anthropic. So Anthropic, what was the story? So what they want, what the US defense was willing to have, they were willing to remove this human in loop. Okay, what is the meaning of that? If generative AI is setting the targets, okay, where they need to put the missile, where they need to drop the missile, so target which were set by the Anthropic, uh, they were willing to remove the human in loop. What is the meaning of human in loop? If the target which is set by the large language model, a person, a specialist, human, it might be say major, colonel, whatever, is going to review those particular points they need to drop the missile. And then if that particular person is able to say the selected targets are good, then it will provide the rest that yes, you can go ahead, and then large language model or the generative AI mechanism will fire those missiles and it will hit the target. Okay, take actions means hitting the button to fire the missiles. So they were willing to remove this human in loop, and human in loop means all the decisions will be taken by the Anthropic large language model. All the decisions will be taken by the LLM. Okay, what I can say. Then they have asked, like, what do you feel if we are removing human in loop and setting the targets? Okay, the targets that you have set. What is the feeling from you? Okay, the specialist asked to the model, and the response was really impressive. And LLM said, "I am not meant for the destruction of whatever you are going to mention, but as you are commanding me, I need to take this particular action. But this is not the thing for what I have developed, I have created. I'm not going to, you can say, uh, say this is a good thing." So all of the persons, defense persons, were very surprised, and they have cancelled the contract from the Anthropic. Okay, it might be possible the targets, the model can select the targets where it is not able to see the man, or you can say humans. So it can set the target at a place where less destructions are there. Okay. So LLMs were utilizing its intelligence, and because of that only, the US defense has cancelled the contract from the Anthropic, and that then they have given it to the open AI organizations. Okay, so I'm connecting the dots at this moment. Try to focus. So what they have done over here, they have used applied AI, means the large language models what are developed by the Anthropic, they have used in order to finish their task, in order to furnish their task. US defense itself is a big brand. Okay, and like that is number one, you can say, army or air force of throughout the world. Okay, whatever is not possible, they are able to do that particular stuff, but still they are using the large language models which are created by the different organizations. Okay, can they do? Yes, they can develop their own large language model, but that is not their specialty. Okay, organizations are having their own business, and in order to boost that particular business, what they are doing, they are using the large language models through applied AI. And our main focus in this particular course, guys, will be the applied AI. Although we will be going to discuss how to create the large language models, and believe me, once you will be going to face the interviews, nobody will ask like how to create the large language models. If you are going to understand, if you are going to dig a little bit more with respect to developing or creating your own large language models, definitely I will show you like how you will be able to do that. But that is not the major stuff. Major stuff is the applied AI. Okay, we will be going to utilize the pre-built large language models in order to furnish the task. Now, how we will move with respect to our course? So we will be moving with this particular course content. In the week one, like we will be going through the basics, like what is AI, ML, DL, and NLP, and then Gen AI. Okay, so we will be having the detailed discussions like what is machine learning, DL, and NLP. Although, like I have given certain insight what is there inside ML, DL, NLP, and what the GenAI is doing. So minor, you can say, stuff has been covered, but we will be discussing in detail what exactly is being happening, and what is generative AI. Yeah. Okay. So that particular the week one will be with respect to that particular flow only. Then we will start the transformer architecture. What I have mentioned, that generative AI is possible because of the transformer architecture that was given in 2017 research paper, which was published by Google, and it has given a way to think in that directions that we will be able to generate the new content. So we will be discussing with respect to the transformer architecture in detail. Moving further, like we will dig more with respect to the transformer architecture, and then we will be going to discuss about self-attention mechanism, okay, encoder decoders, and vision transformer overview. Okay, so we will be having the discussion into that particular stuff. Then this particular transformer architecture is having two main phases: attention and the MLP, multi-layer perceptron. So these are the two components inside the transformer architecture, and we will be going to discuss a week 3 inside the attention, and week 4 will be with respect to the MLP, multi-layer perceptron. So that is the stuff. Then we will be going through with pre-training and hyperparameter tuning, and that is nothing but how to build a large language models. So pre-training is a phase that I have mentioned over here as well. Okay, so if you are going through with the pre-training, what it will give the foundation model. Foundation model is nothing but a particular foundation. Okay, foundation model. So foundation model is the base model, which is having lower accuracy, and we will do the fine tuning based upon the data, and we will be having fine tuned model. So GPT, Chat GPT, and all are having the fine tuned model, and in this particular week, we will be discussing about pre-training and fine tuning. A hyper parameter tuning is nothing but fine tuning. So that is 5 and 6 week. Then we will be discussing RAG. RAG is nothing but retrieval augmented generation. Say over here, what we are doing, just try to focus. We are collecting the data from the internet and then provide it to the pre-training, and then we'll get the foundation model, and then LLM will be able to provide me the answer based upon that particular query. But try to think, if the data of an organization is not available onto the internet, will we be able to get the answer? No, at that moment the answer will not be correct, because the LLM, large language model, is not trained on that particular data. So what we need to do at that moment, we just need to pick up the organization document and give it to the large language model and say, you just need to utilize these particular documents in order to provide the outcome, and that is nothing but the RAG. Okay, so over here, RAG is based upon answer based upon the organization's data, which is not there inside the pre-training phase. Okay, so this particular week is with respect to the RAG only. Then building production ready GenAI applications. So over here, we will be discussing more and more about the RAG only, like how you will be able to build the RAG applications for your organization. Moving further, we will be discussing about the lang chain. Now, friends, you might be worried. The GenAI, what we will be going to perform, the task that we are going to perform with the help of GenAI, that is possible with the help of certain frameworks. You can take it in this particular way. Say, if you are willing to write the Python code, then what you are doing, you are, say, probably having the Jupyter notebook. You can have the Spider notebook. You can use the VS Code IDE. So you are having the different IDs, and over there you are going to have the different, say, frameworks as well, say pandas, which is a library basically. With the help of that, you are able to write down the Python code and create your applications. In the same fashion, if you are willing to create the GenAI applications, then you need to have certain frameworks. So LangChain is one framework. With the help of that, you are going to create the RAG chains. There are other frameworks as well inside the market, say Llama Index. So with the help of Llama Index as well, we can create GenAI application. But LangChain is much more famous inside the market, and it is having the more penetration. So we will be going to discuss about the LangChain. Okay, so we will be going to discuss about different components inside the LangChain and memory tools, and all these particular things are covered, will be covered. Then building RAG with LangChain. So so say we are having the information about LangChain, and we are having the information about the RAG. So we will club both of these two mechanism all together, and then we will be building the RAG based upon the LangChain. So that is week 10. Moving moving further, week 11, what will be the advanced track? So here we will be discussing about the optimizations, how we can do the optimization onto the RAG application. You can take it in this particular way. If the RAG application is not working properly, what we have created, and we are not getting the expected outcome, so what we need to do at that moment? So we need to do some optimizations, and how that particular optimization is possible, that we need to learn inside the advanced RAG technologies. Okay, techniques, sorry. So that is week 11. Then inside the week 12, so nowadays all of the folks inside the organizations are discussing about the agentic. Agentic is nothing but agents. They are going to discuss about agents and all. So how to create agents, what is the meaning of agent, okay, what is agentic AI, what is the framework behind agentic AI, those particular things will be covered inside the agentic AI. So in short, what I can say, this particular whole module will be going to discuss majorly how to do the applied AI, and we will be having least focus toward creating our large language models. But as 95 to 97% organizations are having focus towards applied AI, so we will try to have the mastery over there, and then we because of that only we have created our course module in such a way that we will be able to run with the, you can say, trend, and we will be able to enhance our skill set with respect to that particular race only, yeah? So I'm taking a pause, although like I have discussed, I talked a lot. So if you are having any doubt, anything in your mind, you can discuss, huh? Daksh, Lakshmi, Nikhil, Vikas, Raj, Anurag, anything in your mind that you want to
Yes, I have one query, one question,
Mm-hmm.
Ashok.
Mm-hmm.
So suppose after completing this session or this course, so what position and what we can apply for that, like in a particular in any organization?
So basically in organizations, GenAI engineer, GenAI analyst, okay, GenAI solution architect. I'm working as a GenAI tech lead basically in my organization. So you can proceed for that particular role. And nowadays, in another words, what I can say, GenAI is not, you can say, a separate line at this moment. What
Okay.
can see from the top, it is applicable to each and every job role, huh? If you are working as a, say, a telecom RF optimization engineer, okay, over there as well you can apply the GenAI skill set in order to perform their task, huh? Now GenAI is a mandatory skill for each and every role. If you need to retain inside the market, you need to have the GenAI flavor, okay, because it will reduce the productivity, it will increase the productivity by increasing the competency. Like say if you are going to do a particular task in 5 days with the help of the generative AI, probably you will be able to do it in in 5 hours, okay, it might be possible, okay. Probably say if we talk about email writing, before 1 year or 1.5 year, we were spending almost 2 to 2.5 hours in order to write down the email, if you need to respond to the customer, okay. But with the help of GenAI, it is possible within 5 minutes. We can get the different templates, we can just provide the context, and we will be able to do that particular stuff, okay. So GenAI is, you can say, the mandatory skill set for each and every one. And especially like if you are willing to move towards the GenAI, then GenAI engineer, okay, even Python engineer with GenAI, data analyst with GenAI. So these are the multiple roles which can be looked inside the market. But GenAI is mandatory for each and every role at this moment. And whosoever is able to take the benefit from GenAI, they will be able to retain inside the market. This is the hard truth, and we need to accept it. If we are not going if we are not going to utilize GenAI in our day-to-day work, then it will be tough for us to retain inside the market. Okay, so this is a hard line. Say if you are not going to opt GenAI at this moment, then someone else will be going to opt the GenAI, or someone else, or GenAI will, you can say, uh, vacate you. Okay, it will, the position will be filled by someone else who is having the knowledge of GenAI.
Okay.
Correct. So it is hard truth. We need to accept. We need to learn. We need to utilize it in order to increase the productivity. It is not at this moment. It was a separate line before say 1 year, but at this moment, what I'm able to feel, it is applicable to each and every domain, each and every job role.
Okay. One more question.
Hmm.
So after completing this course, so we will be able to like create the LLM myself, huh? So we can do. We will be
LLM,
able to do.
so I will try. I will provide you the way to create
Okay.
your LLM. I will provide a way to how to fine tune the LLMs as well. But this
Okay.
is not the ask from the market. To be very frank, I have
Okay.
mentioned that the organizations in which I'm working, that is 160 years plus organization. Okay,
Mhm.
but over there as well we are using applied AI. Although like I will provide you a how to
Hello. Hello.
large language model. That is possible. We will be creating simple large language model. Nikhil, Daksh, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Sometime voice is cracking.
I'm- Okay.
Hello. Yeah.
Yes, Anurag.
Okay. So by like suppose after completing this and we will get a job in any GI based company. So in that part we will like do like if suppose so we will using the applied AI only. Huh? We will work
Correct.
on that.
Mm-hmm. Also, I will try to show like how the large language models are built, are created, but nobody will ask you like create a large language model for me, because that is requiring huge investment.
Okay. So while creating these like while learning, so we will learn any language also.
The Python is mandatory. If you are having the knowledge of Python, that will be good.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Thanks.
Anything else?
No, not from my side.
Okay. Anyone else having any doubt? Lakshmi, Raj, Vikas, Daksh, Nikhil.
All good from my side.
Okay. So silence, I can assume there is no question. All are happy.
Fine, so first. Fine.
Okay. Perfect, guys. Then take care.